Welcome one, welcome all to DeFi Crypto and Airdrops. I am Mike, aka Veteran Crypto, and this is Jeff. Today, we are going to dive into OP and Plaza Finance and some really cool DeFi opportunities, one being bondETH and the other being leveraged ETH. But first and foremost, Jeff, could you take us through the socials?
Yes, sir. And welcome everyone. And hope you're all doing well out there. And hope you're doing good, Mike. But if you haven't already started following us at our new DeFi Crypto Airdrops page on YouTube, check us out at DeFi Crypto Airdrop. And also follow our brother channels, the Blockchain Basement, Discover Crypto, BitLab, my channel, the Blockchain Report, and Mike's channel, Life, Liberty, and Liquidity. We go live here on DeFi Crypto Airdrops Monday and Saturday, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, with a couple sprinkled in during the week. And Mike goes live on his show, Life, Liberty, and Liquidity, Sunday nights at 5 p.m. Pacific. And they do a whole host of different topics and wide ranging. It's a great time. More than just crypto talk.
Oh, yeah, no, we talk about all kinds of crazy trash.
Yeah, and you can follow us on X. You can follow Vet at Veteran4Crypto and me at the BCR142. And we will never DM you asking you for money or anything like that. So, if you feel that somebody is trying to impersonate us, please reach out, tag us on X or something. Let us know. But yeah, we just want you to stay safe out there and make sure you're following the right crew. So there we go.
Right. Perfect. Well, let's jump into a couple of hot news topics, and after I hit those, then we'll go ahead and kick it over to you, Jeff, and you can start telling us about OP and Plaza Finance. So
yeah. Oh, real quick, let's shout out a couple people. Ellie, we got Emmanuel, Noob Dude, and Jay so far in the chat. Welcome. Thanks for hopping on in. Oh yeah, let me close my screen.
Let me in there. Let me in there.
All right, squeeze that screen in.
That's right. That's right. Move over. Let me in here. Scusi.
That was great.
So, those of you that don't get that reference, Google it. So yeah, it's a lot's been going on as far as I really feel like the markets are getting to a point to where we've bottomed out, and I'm not an expert. I'll just preface with that. But it really feels like that we've kind of reached retail's max FUD, because everything that we're seeing is bullish. If you look at the news, if you ignore price, look at the news, pretty much everything's bullish. If you look at inflows, everything from institutions and governments and things like that, everything
Just
is
a few hours
super
ago,
bullish.
Arizona.
Yeah, I mean they're and I'm gonna hit that one.
Mm-hmm.
Just everyone is buying except for retail. And so, me personally, I am snatching stuff up as quick as I can and boosting that, of course, with DeFi, earning as fast as I can so I can stack free crypto. But with that, so here from Glassnode, if you do not follow this, it's a good one to follow. So Glassnode said last week, U.S. spot Bitcoin ETFs recorded net inflows of 31,323 Bitcoin, equivalent to approximately $2.9 billion. So it was the fifth largest weekly inflow on record. So that in and of itself is super bullish. Then you go up to Arizona, like Jeff was just talking about. Breaking, and this is from our brother channel, Discover Crypto. Breaking, Arizona became the first state to pass a strategic reserve bill in the House and Senate. So all that's left is for the governor to sign it into law. The state can now invest in Bitcoin. I'm telling you, governments, states, large institutions are all starting to stack Bitcoin and other alts, in alts, not other alts. This is a personal favorite of mine. This is kind of my sneaky pick that I've been stacking for years now. Is Casper, and yesterday out of nowhere. I mean, this thing has been flat forever. It pumped like 125%. It went from 1 cent to like almost 2.5 cents. So I went from like about 7 grand worth to almost 20 grand.
Is this still holding?
No, it's retraced a bit.
Okay.
But I feel like that was a precursor to either Wise. Wise is building out DeFi for Casper right now. So I either
Mm.
think it has to do with that or something else, because as you can see in this news article, Casper 2.0 is designed to bridge the real world economy with blockchain at scale. And the Casper 2.0 mainnet, the major upgrade that we've been waiting on, launches on May 6th. So I kind of think that this
Mm.
might be a precursor to, either a major listing on an exchange, and this is just me speculating. On a major exchange, or potentially that Wise, the DEX, the decentralized exchange, is going to be, adding, what they've been building out for the Casper network. So
Yeah, real quick on that. The Wise, I saw somebody, was it you that commented on somebody's X post that
yeah.
mentioned Wise? That it was somebody from the Wise team, or it is what it
Oh
looked
yeah.
like.
No,
That
no, no.
they were
They are.
hinting at, and that's why
Yes.
it was, yeah. Okay, so that makes sense. So it's
That's
not just like a magic like pump and dump. It looked like it, but
No, absolutely. Well, the thing is that when it got almost up to 2.5 cents, and that was a major level of support for a long time
mm,
before it broke down below that, when the old CEO broke off and took Prove AI over to HBAR, and basically there had to be a restructuring and all kinds of stuff, and so a lot of people got fudded out. So since
okay.
then, the new CEO has done a great job with rebuilding confidence in the community. They are building out like 10 times better than Casper was before. And so yeah, the fact that they're doing DeFi, the fact that they're looking in other directions as far as how to build out and actually actively building out is has been insane. So I'm really bullish
Mhm.
on this, and if it does, go on to do like really good things. To me, I see this being like one of those 20 to 50x plays potentially, just because of how much I know about the tech. And do your own research. Go out there and search out some other channels and stuff like that, because there's some out there that do some really good in-depth analysis, and have crypto charged has actually had the president and CTO, the chief technology officer, Michael, that has done interviews with him, and he's the one that's brought it back. The guy is amazing. So anyway,
Yeah, Cardano was at 2 cents not too long ago, so, and then they exploded.
yeah.
So it's
So yeah, I would not be surprised to see Casper do some very very stellar things. So I have a large bag of it. If it does anything, it's I'm gonna be very well off. So we shall see. So that's about. Oh no, here we go. Let me show you this real quick. So this was the pump yesterday. It pumped up to almost 2.5 cents, and hit that glass ceiling and retraced, and now it's just been trending sideways. So I'm expecting it to do this. If it's gonna make another move, I'm expecting it to do this for the next little while, and up until the 6th of May. Here in about a week, when Casper 2.0 launches. But I don't know if you see this at the bottom, but the volume. Look at the volume down there. Down here at the bottom,
oof.
the volume is, per tick, every 5 minutes is like around $150 million in volume.
Shit.
you know it's insane. So there's a lot going on, and a lot of
Ooh.
people, because it was a level of support for so long, a lot of people, their entry was at 2.5 cents. So when it took a dump, then a lot of people were like, oh shit, I got in at 2.5 cents and now it's under a cent, and so they're looking at getting out. And so as soon as it gets up to that level, a lot of people are like, hey, I'm just going to get out, while, I can break even. And that is what happens to a lot of these projects. And then some of them, not all, some of them do like you're talking about with Cardano, where they take off and the people that, diamond handed them get rewarded. Not always, but it happens. And I'm counting on that. So, you know what? I was going to like read this. Actually, you know what? I'm going to read it. Just a couple of high points because it's kind of a little bit of what I was talking about. So basically, this is what I was talking about. We've watched as Casper Network has completely shifted focus and started pushing major updates. I stated before the names behind Casper that were telling us nothing but promises, yet never delivering. And that was that old CEO. It was always, there was always something that was about to, about to pop, because he was only going for enterprise adoption. So it was IP weave for intellectual property. Then it was Prove AI for IBM. There was always something that was going to be huge, but never materialized. And so basically, me myself, I was glad to see him go. But yeah, right here, yet never delivering. We're gone with Prove AI. Prove AI is the new name of Casper Labs, and it is the creator of an autonomous blockchain-based AI governance platform focused on helping organizations audit and manage their AI activities. Prove AI agreed to build its Prove AI product exclusively on Hedera in exchange for a grant and marketing support. At that time, the Casper Association announced a new board whose goal is to lead Casper's transition into a community-led blockchain, and that's that Michael, the CTO and president now. Casper is a proof-of-stake blockchain. I've been earning 16% on my delegated Casper for a couple of years now for smart contracts. One feature that sets it apart is that Casper smart contracts can be written in several different languages, although many documentation examples and the Casper system contracts are written in Rust. So they've been doing a really good job with making it to where you can build on Casper using multiple different programming languages. And you probably understand that a lot better than I would, Jeff. But with that, let's kick it over to you. Let's hear about these about what's going on with OP and with with the finance with.
We got some really good DeFi campaigns going on that
You want to share your screen?
that are gonna last. The Optimism one we'll dive into second. That goes until June 30th. And the Plaza Finance campaign, it'll probably go for a couple months as well. They did make an announcement. Oh, where am I? Okay, I see.
There we go.
Yeah. So Plaza Finance has been developing since last year, and they just launched their mainnet on Base today. So they had their season one where you deposited a certain liquid state token like wrapped Ethereum on their platform, and you earn a certain amount of points per day, depending on what assets you have deposited. And season one just ended with the launch of mainnet, and their testnet I participated in for like the past 5-6 months. So now you can still participate on their mainnet if you want, and that's where we'll dive into the aerodrome, because it's kind of a 2-for-1 deal. But Plaza Finance has these bondETH and leveraged ETH. I don't know what assets, or what would you call offerings, I guess.
I mean, are you going to get into it, or do you want me to break down exactly what bonded ETH and
Yeah, I got the
Okay.
Grok. Yeah, I made sure to pull up the Grok. So
All right, cool.
yeah, so the bondETH is a decentralized high yield bond that's backed by Ethereum liquid staking tokens, such as wrapped ETH, wrapped staked ETH, Lido staked ETH, I think, is one, but there's different types of staked Ethereum tokens that go into a pool, and it pays out a quarterly coupon in USDC. So you have a certain amount in these bonds and leveraged assets, and they give you a, a more safe play in DeFi, or a safe asset to deposit your Ethereum in. And with the launch of their mainnet today, real
Oh,
quick, I
that's
will
right.
say,
They went live today.
yeah, I will say, I can't find the funding, the amount of funding on here, but they do have, where's their partnerships? On their website, they have their people that they're partnered with, but Aerodrome has been consistently commenting on their on their post, and they follow them and everything. So they're in with oh, and look, our friend Jesse from Base. He's been
Not Jesse.
yeah. So
Those,
hopefully this isn't a
those of you
rug
that
pull.
don't know, Jesse caught a lot of heat recently for promoting that what
The
we are
Zora.
base or whatever that was. That
Oh
meme
yeah.
coin. He he uh,
God.
he posted about it. Everyone got butt hurt because they thought it was a rug pull.
Yeah, that I don't know, man. That was a funny, weird. You
I'm
just
sorry.
never
Go
know in
go ahead.
crypto, man. You just never fucking know.
No, no.
So yeah, they just launched today, and you can deposit. So let me bring it back to season one. I deposited staked ETH in season one, and it didn't do anything, right? They were just gearing up. It was like a pre-mainnet launch, and what a lot of these protocols will do, like Scroll Network did it. Who else? There's been other networks to basically get liquidity into the network or protocol. And they'll offer a point system where for every dollar or whatever per day, you earn a certain amount of points. And so season one, they had, I accumulated a certain amount of points. And now in the season two launch, their mainnet, they split your deposited Ethereum asset into 70% bondETH and 30% leveraged ETH. So I had a certain amount that was split. Where's my portfolio? Oh, right here. So they split my amount into bondETH and
Oh,
leveraged ETH.
oh, so you opened a position.
No, so they took my asset, my staked ETH that I deposited in the pre-mainnet, and that is what they
Oh,
split. So you get points even though it's in a different asset before they launched. Like you just deposit and let it sit there. And now that they launched, they split your asset into these two positions. And so what you can do is just hold these as is and wait to claim your coupon every quarter, I think. Let me see. Yeah, the coupon right here you can claim July 27th, but it's
coupon.
$2 coupon.
The
I'm a
coupon.
coupon. You're coupon.
That's a Ron White thing.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Coupon.
But now I think it's every $100 is one bondETH. So I get $2.50 for every bondETH, which isn't a lot, but you can take this bondETH and take it over to Aerodrome, which you can come here to the dashboard. And if you want to buy one of these bondETH or leveraged ETH, you go here and you can just buy with some Ethereum and
Yeah, I mean, you could probably
get
do it here,
your,
and you can probably
yeah.
swap for it on. I would guess on Aerodrome since it's listed on Aerodrome now.
Yeah, I'll look into that.
Or I'll do that while you're talking.
Yeah, so they have right here deposit liquidity on Aerodrome into either the bondETH USDC pool or leveraged ETH USDC pool. And what this will do is not only do you get 10 points for every dollar per day on Plaza, and this will contribute. They're launching their token in Q3. So they will be launching a token, and your points that you accumulate here will contribute to that airdrop. So I'm taking, this 100 or this one bondETH, and you can earn 20 points on top of that if you deposit your liquidity on Aerodrome. So I'm going to take this bondETH, right? And I already have the window open. So this is the Aerodrome pool right here. And do you need to pull this up, Mike? You want me to send this to you? The actual pool?
No, I got it pulled up already.
Okay. Yeah, and this is a little bit different because it's a bondETH. It doesn't have the normal, it looks like a concentrated stable. So you want to kind of dive into some of the pool stuff? Because I know you have certain requirements on TVL, and since this is a new pool that just launched today, I know if you're looking at it like, people out there, the TVL is really low. Just, if you want to wait a little bit, but just keep in mind it is a brand new pool. And what are your thoughts, Mike? Break this down for us.
All right. So from a DeFi standpoint, let me break it down for you like a fraction.
Break it down for you.
Let me break it down like a fraction.
There you
Give me
go.
1 second. Let me scale this. All right.
Time for a master at work.
What's that?
It's time for a master at work.
Oh yeah, we'll see. So yeah, just like Jeff was saying, these are new. This isn't something I would go jumping into. Reason being, those of you that have been watching me for any length of time, I will, and if you haven't, I will show you. So these are the rules. These are the commandments for DeFi. When you're choosing a liquidity pool, you need to believe in the assets. So that means do your research. Know what bonded ETH is, know what leveraged ETH is, and believe that they're a solid investment. Don't just do it because there's a good APR or something. You want to make sure the TVL is at least $250,000 or higher. You want the 24-hour volume to be equal to or greater than the 250K. You want it to be a trusted DEX. Me personally, I trust Aerodrome, so check. High correlation. You don't have to really worry about it on correlation on these because it's a USDC, a cited asset. So it's not something that you need to worry about correlation. Mm-hmm. And then of course you want to check the pool, check the chart, make sure it's trending sideways or going up. You don't want to get into it, have it go out the bottom hard, because then you'll end up like I am with my ETH USDC pair, and you'll be out of range, not earning for as long as it takes for it to go back up and get back into range. And then, of course, you don't got to worry about it on Aerodrome because it's on base network, but always pay attention to gas fees, especially on ETH mainnet. So that's what I'll say on that. And as of right now, leveraged ETH right now, the TVL is only about $16,000. There's no APR right now because nobody's swapping with it. It's brand new. So until people, start doing what Jeff's doing and earning this, the leveraged ETH and bonded ETH and things like that, and they start wanting to swap it, between USDC and those assets, or those assets into USDC. Like if Jeff starts taking, those coupons that he's earning and wanting to turn those into USDC, then that's where you're going to start earning these fees. So this might be a slow burn. You just keep it something to keep an eye on for the coming days, weeks, months. See how the TVL, starts to increase. See how the fees start to increase, and then whenever it starts to get juicy enough, then you might want to think about getting in. But I personally will not be jumping into this right away because, as you can see, this bonded ETH, there's only 694 of TVL there. It just barely popped where there's 0.00898 cents of fees that have been earned on this from a $2.99 swap. So there is no volume right now. You would be wasting your liquidity sticking it in these pools. So I just wanted to touch on that. And I'm going to kick it back over to you, Jeff.
Yeah, let me get my screen. Yeah, this This is super, super new. So definitely, this is more of a not a degen, but since it is brand new, I mean, it's more of the degen side. But
Well,
um,
with a lot of the stuff that Jeff brings to the table, it's an early mover thing. Like with
mhm,
Plume, with a lot of the airdrop stuff, Jeff is in the know on up and coming projects, potential low cap gems that you can get into before, they make the big moves. That's what's great about listening to Jeff and his channel and here is you're going to get the inside track on potentially exciting new projects that you can get in early, and earn airdrops for them, so free crypto. You don't
mhm,
got to buy it, and that will start you off on it with a nice bag. But also plays like this, because he's doing the Plaza Finance airdrop. He found out about this leveraged ETH and the bondETH, and he's able to bring, because I didn't even know until he told me, just like Plume, that this bondETH and leveraged ETH was on Aerodrome, and so I just started looking into it today. So I just wanted to put
mhm.
that out there because I really want people to understand that we the dynamic that we're trying to build here on the channel of Jeff bringing up these new projects, and then me showing you how you can leverage those airdrops and those earnings and things like that to build
Yeah.
up a DeFi portfolio that earns you even more free crypto. So like we talked about on Saturday, from airdrops all the way to DeFi, you can have $0 and you can actually build a really nice portfolio for free if you put it into play what you learn on this channel. So sorry, I went on a
Yeah.
little bit of a rabbit trail,
Oh
but
man, no, that's great. I
back
love it,
to you.
man. I love
Yeah.
it. Um, no, and only do this like Mike. You don't airdrop hunt like I do, so something like this, I'm okay with getting in early. This is more, and I want to see. I do a lot of these degen airdrop hunting stuff, but I wasn't for myself in this situation with normally I wouldn't do or enter a liquidity pool position with low volume and stuff like that or brand new like this. But since I have been involved in the test net and season one, and now I'm doing the season two, I want to take advantage of the points that they offer for this as well. So because I'm already balls deep in this, so I'm degenning it. But yeah, normally, like you said, I would not jump into a pool that is this low TVL and doesn't have any fees generated because they did launch this morning, I think it was, and so it's brand new.
Well,
But
I mean, you might blink and tomorrow, it might have a couple of $1 million of TVL and a whole bunch of fees. Who knows?
and
It's
I'm on a yacht sipping my.
yeah, just bookmark it.
Yeah, and so real quick, I want to deposit this bondETH into
How
this
about it?
pool. So we got the ranges right here. So this looks, concentrated stable 50. Um, they got this little range right here where you can do full range custom, but it's like
I,
stable coin.
I like my liquidity pools like I like my muscle cars. I like them wide.
Wow. So yeah, I don't know what kind of, but now the question is, how much will that move? If
What do you mean?
so, if this is a stable right here, um, is this really going to fluctuate between like a 95 and 102? I don't know
Well, you
if,
got to figure that it's the USDC is stable, but
yeah.
the bonded ETH or the
Oh,
leveraged ETH isn't.
yeah. Deck screener. Do we have
Do you have the pool address?
this? Where's the pool?
Here, no, like do it on Aerodrome. So here I got it
Oh
right here.
yeah, yeah. Pool info.
There you
Oh
go,
yeah.
right there.
Pool
Copy that, make it
address.
deck screener, and it you're not going to have a whole lot of history on it, but it'll
Right.
show people how to do it. And this is important. When you're
Mm-hmm.
like before. before you get into a pool, and I know you've seen this if you've watched our other shows, I do this all the time. You definitely need to be using Deck Screener and using the chart. Like I talked about with Kelly Kellum over at BitLab Academy,
Oh my
is you
gosh.
want to chart your liquidity pool because you want to find that level of support and resistance so that you have a nice solid range to make sure that you stay in range on these, because if you're not in range, you're not earning. I'm just filling time while this loads.
Yeah,
I know it takes a minute.
yeah. Sometimes that security thing will repeat. It'll reload and reload, and I'm like, you fucker. Okay. So yeah, let me go back to this aerodrome thing real quick because I kind of zipped through it. But if you want to find the contract address, I'll go through this slow. Go to pool info, and then you see these little three dots right here. You can't see it if you don't highlight or have your mouse over it. So right next to pool trading fee, there's a little three dot that will appear. It's not there normally, so I don't know why. That's so dumb.
Oh, hold on. It will appear. Hold on. I gotta
Yeah.
do it. I gotta do it. Where's it at? Where's it at?
And then copy. There you go. I know sometimes I go kind of zipping through and go to the little search. Oh, oops. I got to pull the window. Oh, I need to share this other. I'm on
It's
the other.
true.
Yeah, I have a different. My other window popped up because that one. There we go. So yeah, once you're on Deck Screener, we'll go to search and we'll pop that bad boy in there. And there we go. Okay. So let's see.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That is not a good chart.
No. Well, and I'm sure that people from season one that deposited are pulling out some of their stuff because points from season one have been locked. Because if you withdrew during
Hey, real quick, because I'm not sure where Obreezy is. Hey, Obreezy, I messaged you on the chat, and I don't know if you can see it because I'm not seeing you in YouTube.
oh,
But it says you're asking me to add you back. Add you back to where? Go ahead. Sorry.
no, you're good. My screen's just okay. So 95 and 102. So it's at 108 right now. So 95. Let me add a line because that, yeah, 95 and 102. Oops. So you can clone that, bring that up here, and that would essentially be my 3.5% range. And you could even go tighter. I don't know. We'll so where's that 100.7?
Yeah, just being such a new pool, it'd be really hard to
Yeah.
pick a range on this. You're just gonna have to
Yeah.
spitball it. Yeah. Spit on that thing. You
All
got a
right,
hot
we're gonna.
cooler. Spit on that thing.
Okay, remember you do need an equal amount of this.
Well, it depends on how you set your ranges. If you pick those
True.
preset ranges where it's 3% plus and minus and all that, yes, equal amount. You can do custom ranges. So if you make the bottom smaller and the top longer, then you'll need more of one and less of the other.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll do the full. Okay. So I have an equal amount of USDC that I'm depositing with that as well.
Nice. Switch to the page that showing
Oh
you doing
shoot, yeah.
it.
Oops.
Sorry.
No, you're good. My bad. I had the and right here.
I want people to see how to do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna cancel
There we
this. So okay, so I just picked the full range right here, where you set the price range, and
So
I will.
those of you that are new, full range means it doesn't matter what the price does. It can go from
Yeah,
0 to a bazillion, trillion, gazillion dollars, and he's going to be earning less. He'll earn less yield, but he'll always be earning.
yeah, correct. And something like this like these ranges are 0.5%, 1.5%, and 3.5% wide. So if you go outside, if you've been watching us, you know that if you go outside the range, you're not going to earn anything. So we'll go with the full range, especially like you said that it's a new pool. I'm gonna put in.
That's what happens when you're
Oh,
out of range.
yeah, you lose.
Yes, you're sad.
Where is okay? So I'm gonna deposit equal amount of each asset. You can't see my wallet, but it popped up. So now I deposit. The first transaction is usually just given the contract. It's called a token allowance, and it will you give the smart contract, I guess, permission to deduct a certain amount, and you can set it in the transaction itself, which is nice. So now that we've deposited, okay, so you can stake our liquidity.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right here. Let's just oh wait, is it already stake? I thought.
Yeah, deposited $200
Oh
34
yeah,
cents.
there we go.
It just takes a second for the NFT to mint.
Yeah, no, I had to go click
Oh,
this
expand
and
all.
then and go to stake.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You definitely want to stake it. So those that don't know, actually go back to that previous screen you were on. I want to explain something real quick. If you're new
Hmm.
to Expand It,
Oh yeah. Yep.
all right. So those of you that are new to Aerodrome, it's a two-step process. Whenever you deposit the liquidity, if you don't stake it like he just did, then you're going to earn. In this case, you're going to earn bonded ETH in USDC just like you do on Uniswap. However, there is like I want to say it's 10% or 8% or something like that that you lose as a fee to go to the VE Arrow holders.
Hmm.
Now, if you stake it, then you earn emissions, which is Arrow, the Arrow token, and you get to keep all of it. So, it's up to you what you want to do. Me personally, I always stake it. I want to earn the full amount in Arrow, and I'll cash that out into whatever I want, whenever that time comes. So, sorry, just wanted to take an opportunity.
Yeah. No. And hold on. I gotta pull this up because speaking of steak, did you say steak?
Oh, you gotta
Oh,
show it.
oh, 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 oh.
You gotta
No,
you gotta
where's it
show it.
at? Where's it at? Oh my God.
Did you say steak?
I'm sorry. I gotta
Oh,
share
that was
this
on
because it's one of my
Deuce Bigelow, Male Gigolo. That's what that was on.
the deuce
Yeah,
big.
did you say steak? Now you got me all
Oh,
hungry. He like
hungry.
pulls out a turkey leg out of her like
Oh,
cleavage.
yeah. Oh man, such classics. But
Right?
yes, now the important because if you don't no, like the staking part, you're going to be missing out on a lot of rewards.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I
Oh,
mean, I mean, 8%, 10% or whatever. I mean, that's quite a bit. Especially when you start getting into larger amounts. If you're making
hmm.
$1,000 a month on a pool, you're paying $100 or losing $100. It adds up.
So what is this? It says stacking unavailable.
Oh, it probably means that you just have to add liquidity to that one position. It's not going to let you open separate, different positions.
Oh, huh.
Yeah. See, or add incentive. Oh, you're on. I think you're in locks, or like you're wanting to add incentives because you're trying to incentivize people into voting
Okay.
for those pools for arrow emissions. This is the
Okay.
bribes. This is that bribes that the aerodrome platform has.
Yeah, so I don't know if we can even stake because
Well, you already
I
hit
go to
stake, right?
stake. Yeah, but staking amount and I hit stake down here and then it goes to this.
Yeah, go back to that other screen. I just expanded my screen so I can read it. 10% of fees generated from unstaked deposits is distributed to pool voters. Yeah, see, that's what I was
Yeah.
talking about.
Yeah, and
Um,
I can't adjust this at all.
Staking amount, uh, partial staking not available for this pool.
Hmm.
So 100%, hit stake, see what happens. Staking unavailable. Add an incentive. Oh, add an incentive to enable staking.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to, yeah. So if you hit add an incentive, see what it says. Warning, the incentivized feature is mainly used by protocols. Please make sure you understand how it works before using it as a transaction is final, may not be reverted. Oh, okay. Yeah. So,
Oh, he froze. Oh, he was about to give me the sauce. Oh, fuck.
right now, they're,
Oh,
they're
you
trying to
froze
get,
right as you started saying that.
oh, man.
I was like, fuck. Oh,
And I'm back.
oh, you're back. There you go.
Sorry, and never mind. I'm just basically in a nutshell. I was just saying, let me do some deep research on this, and I'll get back to everybody on it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll hold off on the the staking part.
You're
But
you're, you're
real
still earning.
yeah. Now, real quick, the last thing, and this is just a kind of a real quick dive into Optimism and their super chain, super stacks campaign. Now, this is a DeFi campaign that just started on the 19th, 16th, going to June 30th. And it's a way to get more liquidity, and they have an XP program. So you can earn points on how much liquidity you provide and how long it's in there for.
Yeah, you
And
got
there's
10,
multiple chains,
10 to
interoperable
64
assets.
on there.
10,
Man, take me back to some F-Zero.
oh, bro, don't even get me started on that game. Oh shit. Yeah.
Now I got you all
Oh,
distracted.
I
You're
know,
all,
man.
all right, go ahead. Sorry.
So they have their super stacks campaign, and right here they have total value contributed, total participants. They got a leaderboard, and I'm just gonna connect my wallet and kind of show you. But they have some liquidity pools on Uniswap, multiple chains, and this is ETH USDT zero. I forget who who did this, like the USDT. Um, I don't know. I don't remember. Oh no, I didn't want to close out of there. They have these velodrome pools. This concentrated liquidity 100 CL1, just
Mm,
eh, various pools that will earn you XP, kind of like with Plaza Finance, how they're doing their points per dollar deposited. So Optimism, they're doing this 10 XP per dollar deposited.
Mm.
And I think it's a daily thing. And so and Optimism they've been giving out some really generous airdrops by using the Optimism network. So last October, I think, or September, they had their airdrop 3 or 4 that I ended up getting like 200 something OP tokens that was like worth $400 at the time. And
I'm
this is
telling
just
you,
from making swaps and just interacting on the network. So if you have some
there's
funds
no
laying
excuse.
around, it's
There is no excuse for you not being in crypto and taking advantage of freaking DeFi. Like
hmm
every episode, Jeff is sharing some airdrop that he got $400, $500, $600 or more off of for doing nothing but clicking.
yeah, it's there's a lot that you can do, even on mainnet stuff, or not Ethereum mainnet, but these L2s. You don't have to have a lot of liquidity. Start with 25, $50 even, and just go in one of these and start racking up points. And or like the Plaza thing, you don't have to, something like this, the Plaza one that's not heavily farmed, could be a good one if you want some mainnet experience. But the test nets are what I always recommend, especially if you're new to crypto and just getting started. That way you don't have to risk a lot. But if you're more seasoned, the Optimism DeFi campaign is definitely something to check out. But yeah, some good DeFi deep dives for you today.
No, absolutely.
And I'll pass that back over to you.
Awesome. Awesome. Then I will hit this up real quick while I close this out. And then we'll just answer some questions or whatnot.
Hit it with the open
All right.
palm or the backhand?
Yes, that's right. Which one do you want? Open palm or the backhand? All right. So I've been telling people about this for about a week or two now, and hopefully some of the people out there listen. But on Ethereum, there is right now, because they have that Uni token, a bunch of these pools that are on the Uni chain, they've have the regular pool APR plus this reward APR that's paid out in the Uni token. So like this one, I've been putting it in all the chats. So I mean, if you're not paying attention, you need to start, because you have a bunch of these, ETH, Bitcoin, ETH, USDC, wrapped Bitcoin, USDC pairs.
Wow.
Like this USDC wrapped Bitcoin by itself is making like 64% APR. And it's been making this high APR for like a week now. On top of that, look at the freaking volume. The 1 day volume, $10 million. I mean, the fees are insane on this. Plus, on top of that 64%, the reward APR is almost 84%. So you're making 63.8% plus 83.6% for a total of 147.5%. So you're earning USDC, you're earning wrapped Bitcoin, and the Uni token all at the same time. If it is nobody's fault but your own if you're not taking advantage of these opportunities. Now, that being said, tomorrow, these end. I've looked and looked and looked. I can't confirm nor deny if there's going to be new ones, if they're going to reset them. I don't know what's going to happen. But if you're interested in these, check tomorrow, see if they're still there. And a good way to check is, just pick one. I'll click on it. You can come here and let's see. Damn it. It's not going to do it. Oh, here we go. Down here it says time period, less than 1 day. So on April 29th, this incentive ends. So again, check back tomorrow if it's something that you're interested in, and take advantage of these because there's a lot of. I mean, shit. Look at this. Like over $500,000 in fees just during this 10-minute period.
Shit.
It's yeah. I mean, there's so many opportunities in DeFi, and they're not going to be here forever. So
Yeah, Twinklebell asked, "Where can I find this pools?" And I responded like, "Which pools exactly?" So, um, I mean, I
so
guess many of them. And
so
Ellie also said like, "How do we get in them? I don't know anything about wrapped anything." And the
great
wrapped you just
questions.
swap. Yeah.
No, great questions, and I appreciate you asking. Like, and none of these questions are silly or stupid, or
Mm.
we're all at different places in our education. So, as far as wrapped Bitcoin, I'll keep this as simple as possible. Wrapped Bitcoin is a representation of actual Bitcoin. It's backed. It's supposed to be backed by an actual Bitcoin on the Bitcoin chain. And so like Coinbase wrapped Bitcoin, anything other than just Bitcoin is a representation of Bitcoin.
Mhm.
But it has the same value. So basically that's what what wrapped Bitcoin is. Now where to find these pools is you just go to Uniswap. Let's go to actual.
Well, and the reason why they're wrapped assets is usually they don't. Well, wrapped Ethereum, I think, is kind of silly because you can have Ethereum natively on all the chains,
Yeah,
um, but
as long as it's
certain chains
EVM.
don't. Yeah, certain chains like none of the Ethereum networks will take actual Bitcoin, so you need kind of a synthetic asset that represents it on those
That
networks. But
it's basically a compatible version of Bitcoin for
mhm,
that chain. So,
yeah,
like wrapped Bitcoin is for the Ethereum, chain. Coinbase wrapped Bitcoin is for the base chain. It's just makes it compatible is all.
mm,
So, the way that you find these pools is you go to Uniswap, you go to Explore, down to pools, and it brings these up. Now, these special pools that I was talking about are these ones with this hot pink, and you can click on this reward APR
mm,
header and it will basically sort them all to where it brings them all to the top. And then again, you have the different pools. You just choose whichever one you want, and this is a bonus APR. So this is the one that's going to be sticking around. This is the one that potentially is disappearing tomorrow. So if you get
mm.
into these right now, you might have 12 to 24 hours of earning this before it goes away. So it's not going to be a huge incentive right now. I just wanted to point out that in the like I said in the chats, I've been telling people about this for like a week or so now. So when I'm in those chats, if you're interested in these opportunities, make sure you're paying attention. Um,
Yeah, and you just need to swap for the wrapped assets. Like on
yeah.
Uniswap or something or Aerodrome, you can just swap for wrapped Bitcoin, wrapped Ethereum. So
So so
you
yeah,
don't have to go anywhere crazy.
you just go here and say that you have some ETH. I selected ETH here, and then say that you want to do wrapped BTC, and see there it is. You just select it, and then you just put how much ETH, dollar amount that you want to sell, and it will buy an equal amount, dollar amount of wrapped Bitcoin. So if I want to sell, $1,000 of ETH, then that buys. Oh, sorry, 1,000 ETH is 1.8 million. I was like, I get 18 freaking Bitcoin for $1,000 worth of
Oh
ETH.
shit.
I'll make that swap. All right, cool, awesome. So one
Hey.
ETH is 0.0189 wrapped Bitcoin. So 1,798. So that's basically how you get these assets. And then Aerodrome,
Mhm.
same thing. All of these DeFi platforms will have a swap, and same thing. But here, I'd probably be going for the Coinbase wrapped Bitcoin right there. And same thing. If I want to swap ETH for that, if I want to swap Arrow for that. Like if I wanted to, say because I have 1,388 arrow from just earnings that I've been harvesting, waiting for good another pool to open. Here in the next couple of
Nice.
days, I'll probably have about $2,000 to start a new pool. So yeah,
Hmm.
say I wanted to swap all that $857 into Coinbase wrapped Bitcoin. So it's thinking about it.
Could you get another flight school if
Yeah,
you created another lock?
yeah, yeah. You
Oh
can you
shit.
can create as many locks as you want.
And you get a flight school for each one as long as they're over
That's
2,500. Oh,
that's what I've. I mean, do your own research, but that's what
okay.
I've read.
Damn, that'd be sick.
It's because I mean you can do it. I mean you could do as long as a single lock is 2,500 arrow or more. Then like you can't split it up. You can't put 500 arrow in one and 2,000 in another and get the flight school bonus on both. You can put it one in 2,500 arrow in one, or like say that you have 5,000 that you want to put in. It's not going to make a
Hmm.
difference if you make it into two or into one. You're going to get the same amount.
Okay.
The larger the lock doesn't mean you get more. The only thing that increases the amount you get is if you have a Coinbase One account and you verify that wallet address on your Coinbase account, then you get a 1.3x multiplier.
Hmm.
And what was the other thing? It's eluding me right now. Do you remember?
Um.
Let me look real quick.
No.
There was one other thing. Here we go. I know I kept it. Oh, here we go. There's an updated version of it.
Oh, nice. They got it updated.
There we go. So
Oh, good.
the VE Aero Maxi Relay. So I'll show you that real quick. So you can see like these are my two locks. So the first one I did was I deposited 5,100 arrow, but I put it into this VE Aero Maxi where it automatically votes for me each week, so I don't have to manually do it, and it just automatically earns, and then it whenever it earns each week on Wednesday night, it just automatically compounds back in because I just don't want to even think about it. I just want it to keep growing.
Hmm.
So I put it in there, and so I got a 1.25x boost. I hadn't done. You can't stack these. Down here it says if a lock qualifies for multiple boosts, only the largest will apply. So like if you have a Coinbase One account and you also put it in the VE Maxi Relay, you're only going to get this Coinbase One 1.3x boost, not the 1.25. And then of course this new protocols and qualifying funds, that's always changing. That's they determine that. But I would suggest that if you have that $30 a month Coinbase One account, that you verify your account so that it qualifies for this 1.3x boost because it's obviously more than just depositing it into the relay. If you don't have a Coinbase One account, of course, whenever after you do your lock, then put it in this relay and you'll get that boost. And that's what I did. And that's why I got almost 50% because I put in 5,100 tokens and I got 2,600 as my flight school bonus.
Mm. Okay.
So that's the skinny on that. Actually, that's perfect. We just freaking hit 6 o'clock. That's exactly an hour, brother.
Very nice. Yeah, that was
Anybody
fun
anybody have any
time.
questions?
I
Oh,
don't
Ellie
see
does.
too many else. Oh, the flight school.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't want to call Ellie out on it. That's cool that she mentioned it. Yeah, unfortunately, splitting it like that, Ellie, you're not going to get the flight school bonus. Because it has to be in one lock, 2,500 or more. But
Mm.
yeah, if you do another lock, just make sure that it's 2,500 arrow or more in that single lock. If you don't have Coinbase One, make sure you put it in that VE Arrow Maxi Relay, as soon as possible, so that it will automatically do the voting for you, because you're not going to earn in the locks unless you go in and manually vote each week. So if you put it in this VE Arrow Maxi, it will do all that and it will be automated. You don't have to worry about it. You just check in on it every once in a while and smile when you see your earnings. That's that's the beauty of the VE Arrow Maxi. Plus, you get that 1.25x multiplier on your flight school bonus. So yeah, anybody that's thinking about doing it, that's a skinny on that. Let's see. I thought it would be all here. I'll put it up. I thought it would all be in one lock. I'm earning though. Oh yeah, no, you'll still earn. Um, but
Hmm.
make sure that you put those ones, even though you didn't get the flight school bonus. I personally would still put it in the VE Aero Maxi so that every week you don't have to go in there and vote. Because I know I forget even daily to go and check my. Actually, I need to do it right now. My Stargazer wallet to claim my pack.
Aha.
It's like it's easy to forget this stuff, especially when you got like a bunch of different things
Hmm.
going. Yep, there it is. See, I didn't claim my 3 pack for today. Um, So yeah, I would put it in that automation, so that you don't have to worry about it, and then it just each week it will auto compound for you. Does Arrow have a physical card? I don't think Aerodrome has. I'm guessing that you mean a debit card.
I haven't seen that.
I haven't seen one either yet. But being on base chain, I know that there's a lot of cross compatibility, especially with Moonwell and Morpho, with pools and stuff like that. And I know Moonwell has a card, and I think Morpho does too.
Oh,
Uh,
who was that? Oh yeah, they talked about it. Moonwell, right? When the dude was on
yeah,
the
no,
basement.
Moonwell has a card. I know that for sure. Moonwell basically is a bank account. So, I mean, you can do direct deposit ACH to
Mm.
Moonwell, and and earn, basically have a high interest savings account. And then, of course, you can get the card as well and just use that to spend, your funds that are in there. And so instead of your cash, sitting in a bank earning nothing, you can have it sitting in there, earning, whatever yield, that you have in there. And you just use the card to make your regular purchases. And
Hmm.
whatever you don't spend, just basically stays in there and keeps earning. So it's a great way to earn, to build your savings instead of watching it depreciate, due to inflation.
Oh, what is that? The Arculus, right? The Ar
Or,
is you can
Ar-
use that, right? In a similar way?
well, Arculus is cold storage.
Right. But oh shit. No, who was it? Was there another car? I thought you could use the Arculus as a way of, or they had an option, but God, who was it that was I don't remember. I do want to get more knowledgeable about these cards though, and finding ways of um paying and
Well,
also earning points. Like some of them
it
have
wasn't Arculus. It says no. The Arculus card cannot be used as a debit
okay,
card. It's a cold storage hardware wallet.
only yeah.
While you can sell buy, swap, send, receive cryptocurrencies. For fiat transactions, you would need to transfer crypto to an exchange. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, no, one thing that I'm looking into, but I need to talk to a tax professional, is I know that you can mitigate your tax liability basically by taking out loans on crypto because you don't pay taxes on debt or on loans. And so I'm
Mm-hmm.
want to look into using like Aave, and borrowing and lending a platform like that to to basically make my assets liquid so that I can spend them. And so, basically, put my crypto on Aave, lend it, earn, take out a loan off of it, very low leverage, like, on Bitcoin or something like 20%, of the, like if I have $100,000, take $20,000 out. And then just, that's my extra money for the year, whatever. And then, put that I take the loan out on, take that over to someplace like Moonwell that has a card and, put it into a pool there and then be able to spend that, throughout the year, and have it earning at the same time. So basically I have two pools earning and,
Yeah.
but at the same time, I would only be paying, I wouldn't technically or potentially wouldn't be paying any taxes because I would be spending a debt. I wouldn't be spending, capital, any capital gains. I wouldn't have to pay any capital gains.
Yeah. And these are powerful tools. If you can
Absolutely.
figure out a way to maneuver this, and yeah, always consult with a professional.
Yeah, because I am not a tax professional, far from it. So
Mm-mm.
I do know that you don't pay taxes on on debts or loans that you take out, but
That's what the wealthy do.
no, they do. They live
Mm-hmm.
off of debt. But they know that chess game. They know
Yes.
how to maneuver that, and they have tax professionals that structure all that for them with LLCs and S corps and just all of those tools that the rich use. And actually, you know what? I'm gonna put together an episode about that because my brother Taylor, he's a lawyer and
Mm-hmm.
specializes in estate law. And ooh, sorry, he I'm sure he knows somebody that we can get on, and maybe even Jeff, would be able to speak intelligently on that. He's a licensed
DeFi.
financial advisor, and
Yep.
you know what? We'll do an episode on that. I was going to have him on this week sometime anyway, so I'll see when he's available, and we'll actually do a topic of how to you know do some of these things. These tips and tricks on how to make the most on mitigating your tax liability.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Power. That would be powerful.
no, absolutely. All right, so we'll answer this question and then we'll end.
Oh
Do
yeah.
you want to take this one?
Yeah, I was just about to respond to him. Yeah, I definitely understand it's a big concern in the airdrop space, but always use a wallet that is not. It's a fresh wallet that's separate for airdrop stuff. Don't keep all your funds on there. Just do it for strictly airdrop hunting, and that way it's not. I have separate wallets for staking, for this, for that, and backup wallets and stuff. So I. I only have one wallet well, two wallets because I airdrop hunt with a couple wallets, but I have two that are dedicated for airdrop stuff. And yeah, just make sure that, practice in safe security. And I don't remember which episode it was last week or a few weeks ago where we kind of dove into some security features and
Yeah, yeah.
things like that, but always,
Always
uh,
practice safe crypto.
yeah,
Wrap it before you
safe
stack it.
crypto, and hit us up. Hit us up in the DMs if you have a question or aren't sure about something or feel like something might be a scam. Don't hesitate to reach out because we'd rather you take a few extra seconds to verify than to click and accidentally lose all your shit. So
Yeah. And here soon we'll have like you'll be able to contact us on X, but Discover Crypto, our family of channels, Discover Crypto, Blockchain Basement, BitLab Academy and us will all be on a joint Discord, and you'll be able to come in there and you'll have subject matter experts on, of course, me, I'm always learning, but you'll be able to ask DeFi questions. You'll be able to ask Jeff airdrop questions. You'll be able to talk to Drew and Isaac over on Blockchain Basement, Kelly for technical analysis and, trading, scalp trading, day trading, things like that. And then, you'll be able to talk to TJ, DZ, and Josh over on Discover Crypto. So it'll be a great place to join, once we go live with that. So with that, thank you all, as always, for
Yes,
showing up.
yes.
Mike, Ellie, Jay, Stan. Who else we got in here? We
Twinkle
got
Bell,
Twinkle Bell. Who else? We got O'Breezy. You never told me where you want me to add you back to, man. Uh,
the
who else?
Nasty,
Oh yeah, Nasty. All right. So yep.
Black Ice,
Appreciate
Jammy,
y'all.
Noob
Hope to see you
Dude,
guys next time.
Emmanuel. Thank
Until
you,
then,
everyone.
Veteran Crypto out.
Peace.